And we are live. Good morning, and welcome to the New York Buddhist Church. Today is Sunday, June 11th, 2023. We'll begin with quiet sitting. Please sit up straight, gently calm your mind, and follow your breath.
Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.
Today's sutra chant is Jusei-ge, reaffirming the vows Ta Nembutsu and Ikoko merit transference on page 55. Following will be Vandana and Tisarana on page 7. Our reading today is The Golden Chain of Love on page 126, and that will be read by Maiko Tanaka. We have special graduate guests, Kwanye Wang and Eiko Nishida, who will be giving their graduate messages. Our gatha today is Ondoku-san 2 on page 134 and Nembutsu on page 135. We will then present certificates of congratulations to our graduates, welcome newcomers, words of appreciation, and a closing gasho. Namo Amida Butsu.
시간 약고가 다이센 오칸도 호쿠쇼텐닌 Namo Amida Butsu. 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 Please join in the Vandana Antisarana on page 7. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to him, the exalted one, the enlightened one, the supremely awakened one. Buddham saranam gacchami. Buddham saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Dhammam saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. Sangham saranam gacchami. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Buddha for guidance. Please be seated. Our reading is going to be led by Maiko Tanaka. It's The Golden Chain. It's on page 126 if you wish to follow.
So page 126, The Golden Chain of Love. Please join me. I am a link in Amida Buddha's golden chain of love that stretches around the world. I must keep my link bright and strong. I will try to be kind and gentle to every living thing and protect all who are weaker than myself. I will try to think pure and beautiful thoughts, to say pure and beautiful words, and to do pure and beautiful things, knowing that on what I do now depends not only on my happiness or unhappiness, but also that of others. May every link in Amida's golden chain of love be bright and strong, and may we all attain perfect peace.
So today is a very, very special day for us here at the New York Buddhist Church. We have had some graduation ceremonies recently, and we really wanted to celebrate the lives and the achievements of our graduates. Today we're going to have talks from Kwang-Ye Wang, who has been with our church since he was a little boy, I think. He came with his mother, Helena, and really grew up, I think, with our church. And every achievement you've made, it's brought happiness to all of us because you have done so well. Kwang-Ye just graduated from Columbia, and let me see, gotta see which one. Sorry. So Kwang-Ye has his BA in History and Economics. And he's going to be going to Yale Law School in the fall. So we're also proud of him. Our second speaker is Eiko Nishida. Eiko is a regular member of our meditation group, and she's been coming to our meditation group for, I think, since the beginning of COVID, probably, which was a time that a lot of people were seeking some refuge and understanding of the Buddhist teaching. So Eiko has been a regular, and she's helped us with our social media as well. She just graduated from the MFA program at Hunter College, the City University of New York, with a concentration in site-specific installation. And she's going to share some of that with us today on the video. And they're both going to talk about, what Buddhism means for them now. And I think when we think about people embarking on a different phase of their lives, to have that grounding of their Buddhist teaching is something that will keep them strong as they go through different phases, different challenges. And so we're really delighted to have you both here this morning. Thank you. So first, Kwang will be speaking, and then followed by Eiko.
So, after about a decade, the powers that be have finally decided it's fit to let me come up here. And not without my lack of trying. I hope this is not something you will come to regret, Reverend. Well, maybe not come to regret too much. I would like to tell some stories today. I discovered New York Buddhist Church after a childhood of scootering past the statue of Shunran Shonin out front. I had visited a mosque, a Hindu temple, and several churches before, doing as all 12-year-olds do, which was searching for God. At last, I found the temple that was closest to me because the people chanted the most welcoming melodies, and because the Reverend Earl, who held the warmest smile for a young boy curious about the world. The first winter, the air was very cold. Layers of snow and ice covered the sidewalks and crossways. With my little shovel freshly brought that morning, my mother and I set out to clear my immediate neighborhood. And soon I was at the steps of this temple, piling snow and cracking ice from the steps. Reverend Earl must have wondered, who is that kid? And invited us inside for warm tea. Reverend Earl was from Hawaii and had never gone sledding before, except down lava flats on bark sheets. There was a little round flimsy thing, which still is, and Lily, do with this what you want, is in the storage closet. We took this flimsy round thing, and we took Reverend Earl to what just so happened to be the tallest and fastest sled hill on the Upper West Side, in the park immediately behind this temple. I went first, demonstrating once, going down way too fast, and coming back with my face and boots caked in snow. Then it was the Reverend's turn. His path down did not follow one that I would call safe. The skiers before us had set up a massive ramp jump on the lower level. The Reverend going faster than I ever would have dared, because we never taught him how to brake, and perhaps by the providence of the Amitabha, headed straight for that ramp. Well, never ever let them tell you that Reverend Earl cannot jump, because, well, he can fly. To a horrified little me, it seemed that he achieved an airtime of more than half a minute, and then descended in a horrifying crunch, throwing up dirt and snow. The Reverend's poor posterior. But when Earl came back, his face red with cold and adrenaline, he was smiling. I've always been horrified on some stories by Zen teachings. For example, a master named Ling Qi, the famed Zen practitioner, was asked, "What is the basic meaning of Buddhism?" The master held up his fly whisk, and then the monk who asked the question gave a shout. The master also gave a shout. The monk was about to say something, whereupon the master hit him with a keisaku. Now, there's a lot of stories like this. I'm glad that at least on the surface, Shinran provides some kinder guidance to teachers. On this day, children everywhere gather in the temple of Amida Buddha and raise their voices in praise of his wonderful wisdom and compassion. May we all in thanksgiving dedicate ourselves to the ideals as laid down by our teachers and our masters. The keisaku can be translated as a warning or awakening device, or by me very simply as a beating stick. It is requested with the practitioner putting down their head in gasho to receive the wisdom of the master on their bare head and shoulders. Keisaku cannot, and I hope for the future of this temple and the young ones in it, should not be a beating stick, because the basic meaning of Buddhism can be the smile of a kind reverend. It can be a warm memory of a cold winter's day. Both Soto and Jodo Shenshu teach us to thankfully receive the ideals of our teachers. And so, Reverend Earl, I cannot know the strength through which you have faced every indescribable sadness and joy. But I dedicate myself in thanksgiving to the ideals that you have laid down for me from a very young age. I hope that your kindness, compassion, and willingness to indulge a young boy with his sledding remains with me and lives with me always in my life to come. I helped David, Carl, and Lily with the live stream, and some of you may have noticed some very jarring scene transitions at inopportune moments. However, I was not always so masterfully quick to cover up my mistakes as I am now. Before I started, I watched Carl and David work countless times. And it was one of those very first times that they invited me alongside Reverend Cheryl and Gary to Sichuan Garden. Chongqing chicken is remarkably spicy. And we all cried a little that day, except for Carl, because the strongest name in takoyaki does not cry. Well, except for really strong manly things. The next week, we went for ramen and, beer. Sapporo, of course, because we are not heathens. And the next week, for izakaya. We say every day, we place our faith in the Sangha, as you just said. But perhaps the most true form of support is to think of the Sangha as friends whom we can drink and eat with, whom we can laugh about balls with, to think about the Sangha as being composed of beautiful and fun individuals. In the Pali Canon, a young monk named Maggia discovered a beautiful and peaceful mango grove where the wind gently rustled green stalks and leaves. Yet when he sat down, he found his mind and heart filled with malicious, lustful, and confused thoughts. Well, yeah, you and me both. The Buddha sat down next to Maggia in the grove and said, 5 things induce release of heart and lasting peace, but first is intimacy with good friends. Only then can there be virtuous conduct, frequent inspiring conversation for practice, diligence, energy, and enthusiasm for good to bring insight into impermanence. Because the Buddha told his own closest and oldest friend, Ananda, having good friends isn't half of the holy life. Having good friends is the whole of the holy life. Thus, Xingran is very wise to say, just as rain falls on all vegetation, so Buddha's compassion extends equally to all people. But just as different plants receive particular benefits from the same rain, so people of different nature and circumstances are blessed by different methods. Oh, I am such a limited being, a horse with blinders, oblivious to much of the beauty of the world and its people. Through the love of others, I hope to experience the different methods of blessing from nature and circumstances, to be nourished differently by that same rain. David and Carl, every time I go to Sichuan Garden, I still exactly order what we ordered. Sour fish soup, chongqing chicken, and spicy tofu with fish fillet. I still drink exclusively Sapporo, and I have taken so many of my friends to Moonrise. Through temple, I have met so many friends, Elle and Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca. Thank you for those memories and for your friendship. I expect all of you up in New Haven next year to taste the steamed hams. Many of you know about the courage of my mother. Courage is many things, but first and foremost, it is the ability to confront our impermanence, our worldly death, and smile with compassion. My mother does this every day. Many of you know that with her courage, my mother has conquered. She has conquered first an unruly son, although I must say, I could have turned out much worse. She conquered a nation that tested and rewarded our loyalty at every turn. And she conquered the emperor of all maladies. For much of last year, my mother lived in unimaginable pain as her treatment killed her body from the inside. Yet she stared into her own impermanence and she found faith and compassion. Every morning, as the sun rose, so did the beautiful melodies of my mother's chanting. Sticks of burning incense offerings mixed with every meal. I heard guided meditation, walking meditation, sitting meditation, discussion group, letter writing, and personal introspection at so many hours of the day. Many, even most in pain, turned to anger, recrimination, or worse. My mother turned to the Buddha and the Sangha. During this time, I was not, perhaps, the best. I was perhaps too consumed by my own issues, which now seem so silly in comparison. My conflicts with my friends, my own heartbreak. Perhaps I took up too much of my mother's precious hours and too much of her patience moaning, on and on and on, about my own pain instead of tending to hers. But her answer was always the same. to my questions. What would the Buddha do? How can you realize your own impermanence and respond with compassion? I remember one night, my mother told me the story of the Dizang Bodhisattva, who was also known as Kitsitagarbha. Dizang was once a daughter, distraught by her own mother's death, as she had been misled on the 3 jewels. Dizang sold all her belongings to offer to the Buddha of the meditation flower. Upon reciting the Buddha's name, she traveled to the hell realm and guided hand in hand her mother from hell on the power of her love and faith. She was reborn as a bodhisattva, and she made a vow that many of us, I think, would recognize. If I do not go to the hell to help suffering beings there, who else would go? If the hells are not empty, I will not become a Buddha. Only when all living things have been saved will I attain Buddhahood. Shinran is right to say that on the long journey of human life, faith is the best of companions. Faith is the best refreshment by the way, and the greatest reward at the end. Faith is the hand that receives the Dharma. With faith, my mother looked into hell and smiled, guiding not only herself, but so many of us in the audience who have experienced her love as well. So if you haven't already, the hint is to watch her Dharma talk. So thank you, Mom, for listening to me and for loving me even when you were overcoming everything this past year. Thank you for your lectures on the Buddha at the dinner table in the park over coffee and tea and late at night. I am listening, and I will always listen, despite my eyes and blank expression. To the temple, I owe a life debt, because from hell you granted the vehicle for my mother to guide herself to faith and compassion. So thank you, New York Buddhist Church, for your part in saving her. One more, before you all fall asleep. I was not, and probably am not, a very good Buddhist. I don't go to temple as much as I should, and I've killed like 1,000,000 cockroaches. And I could always show more love and compassion. As Reverend Gary so succinctly put it, realize that you are completely unnecessary. Oh wait, I always forget the next part, and necessary at the same time. And I used to be angry. Perhaps, like all teenagers, I snapped at my parents, and it was not until this year that I started taking my Buddhist practice seriously, despite going here for like 10 years. Past fall at Columbia, friendship fallouts and heartbreak meant that briefly but deeply I felt very alone. For those of you who are worried, I do have friends now, and I had friends then too. But thank you to everyone who is watching again. And for the first time during that time, I began to embrace the Nembutsu. It was after a particularly demoralizing set of law school test questions when I was so sad and felt so alone that I saw the plume of smoke. Slowly rising over the chimney tops, it came from the bagel bar across from my dorm. In the pink crimson light of the setting sun, it looked like cotton candy, or the embers of a bonfire. As it drifted upwards, it came to me. Namo Amida Butsu. Amitabha was there in that plume of smoke. Amitabha was there in that room with me, and Amitabha was there in the thrumming of my heart. And for the first time, I tried to be a good Buddhist. Meditate every morning, gasho every evening, go to temple, say the Nembutsu at every moment of pain, of passion, of gratitude, demonstrate compassion and forgiveness to all. Well, I'm trying. Most importantly, perhaps, moderate my anger and be more understanding. As I feel my head warm and my lungs begin to bellow, I try to slow, stay, and quietly repeat the Nembutsu to myself. My days began to be filled with Namo Amida Butsu. I found new friends, forgave and was forgiven my old ones, thought to be better to my parents always, to myself, and realized the impermanence, the temporal nature of my own problems and my own desires. I realized that my emotions were so fleeting and could not be the basis of any sound action, but at the same time, that Amida's embrace was so encompassing. It is a one buoy of permanence in a sea of ephemerality. It is that which gives us mission and purpose. Compared to the reverends who speak normally, I am not so smart. I am young, in my decisions and values, I am clouded by my lack of experience and my abundance of emotional desires. The great lesson Amida has taught me is my own impermanence. To not put so much credence on the ebb and flow of those emotional desires, and to know my mission. Thank you, New York Buddhist Church, for saving me, because it is only when that happens that I can embrace our higher purpose, a vow that I will carry into Yale Law and beyond. May I be a medicine for the sick and weary, nursing them until their afflictions are gone forever. I would be a protector of the helpless, a guide for travelers and their means for crossing a stream, a lamp for those who need a lamp, a bed for those who need a bed, a servant for those who are in need of service. May all find happiness through my actions and let no one suffer because of me. Whether they love me or hate me, may those feelings be the source of their fulfillment. May those who mock, accuse, or wrong me, may they all attain enlightenment. Such is the vow of the Bodhisattva. Namo Amida Butsu.
Thank you, New York Buddhist Church, for this opportunity. Hello, everyone. My name is Eiko Nishida. I'm from Hiroshima, Japan. I moved to New York to start the MFA program at Hunter College in August 2020. My art practice is site-specific installation and social practice. I just graduated this May, and now I'm looking forward to collaborating with those who are interested in my art. It would be nice if I have a moment to talk with you all later at reception. Today, I will talk about how I become Buddhist and what Buddhism means to me and my art. I was born and raised in Hiroshima. My family conduct the Buddhist ritual very sincerely. We invite a reverend from the community to precede the Obon ceremony at home every summer and other ceremonial services. I thought it was customary at my friends' families, but I found out it was only my family soon after I started attending school. Mitaki Temple is a 15-minute hilly walk from where we live in Hiroshima. Also, that's where my uncle's Mizuko Jizo is interred. He died in Manchuria during World War II when he was a baby. Since I was in elementary school, my grandparents and I went to his grave every weekend. And after I became a college student outside Hiroshima, my father and I went there whenever I went back to the city. The Shinran Shonin statue outside this hondo used to be in Mitaki Honmachi, my hometown, until 1955. I only knew about it when I heard from Shiro Sensei after I moved here. Now there is a only stand in Mitaki Honmachi, and as we all knew, the statue is here in New York. Since following Buddhism custom was part of my life so naturally, I never thought or questioned my being Buddhist. It has been my norm since I was little. The more the Reverend chants Obunsho and other sutras every summer or at ceremonies, the more I was intrigued by particular idioms. I eventually asked him questions because I wanted to know what the really meanings are. Buddhism is a crucial part of my philosophy and has influence to my art practice. In 2018, I had my solo show, Anakashiko, Anakashiko. The show was about my understanding of Buddhism. All the Dharma the Reverend in Hiroshima shared with me, my family, was the same as what I have learned from Sensei here in New York. But acknowledging the teachings again, far away from home, and refreshing my memories gave me a better understanding and made me think about who I am. According to Pew Research Center, Buddhists make up only 1% of New York State. While I was in Japan, I never needed to think about my religion or its ratio because it was one of the majorities. After I came to the States, I put up front being Buddhist and recognizing what I practice daily as an essential part of my identity. I looked for Jodo Shinshu sect right after I moved here. My mom's Shotsuki Meinichi is September. And I wanted to do something I am familiar with in the New York environment. I found the New York Buddhist Church official website and sent an inquiry to see if I could arrange the ceremony. Gary Sensei replied immediately, and that's how the relationship started. I have been attending the weekly meditation on Zoom since I started studying at the Hunter. It has been a tremendous help and made me feel grounded. I can't thank you enough, Cheryl Sensei and Gary Sensei. 本当にありがとうございます。Now I want to introduce how Buddhist teaching in the core elements of my art practice. First, let me show a video of the work. This is my thesis work. The title is The Worlds We Live In. It made of multiple language newspapers distributed in New York. The shiny layers on the floor are two kinds of reflective materials. One shows you a distorted image, and the other shows you just like a mirror. Since my mom passed away, I have been living with the notion that we all depart from this world at some point. And the moment we spend now is one and only, and passes quickly as the wind goes. The newspapers in different languages and two kinds of images on the reflections represent various perspectives. It questions the audience why we see things differently. If there is only one truth with capital T, why do we attach things or feelings that makes things distorted? And how can we stay calm among differences at this precious moment, especially in this city? In the weekly metta meditation on Zoom, there is a phrase to pray for not only those who are Buddhist, but also non-Buddhist or atheist. That paragraph teaches me to be open-minded, to accept differences, and not cling to things or any attachments we may have. Through losing loved one and learning all the teachings from Sensei, I experienced and I'm aware how precious this present moment is. However, I'm still in a process, and being Buddhist is my lifelong journey. I'm grateful to be in this community in my life. Thank you.
Argathas today are Ondoku-san number 2 on page 134 and Nembutsu on page 135. If you are able to, please stand.
Please rise. You'll find Argathas on page 134 and 135. And turn to page 135 for the Nembutsu.
Please be seated. I think everyone who came today and everyone who's listening in online, it was such a moving experience for me to see the cumulative impact that New York Buddhist Church has on the lives of people who come here. And as Kwang said, our Sangha is our family. Sometimes it's a family that's going to support you more than your own family. And that's what's so precious about this. And thank you so much, Kwang and Eiko, for sharing what Buddhism means to you and the impact that it has on your lives and the way it's going to change your lives as you move forward. It's just so moving and touching for me to hear these words. So today we're going to give some certificates that the Buddhist Churches of America has sent to us from San Francisco, acknowledging and congratulating our graduates today. And let me just read it to you. In recognition of your graduation, this is a certificate of congratulations. The Buddhist Churches of America extends sincere congratulations on your educational achievements and high standards of citizenship. We look forward to your leadership and service in supporting the noble cause of spreading the light of Amida's wisdom and compassion. Presented on this 11th day of June 2023 by the Buddhist Churches of America. Signed by Bishop Marvin Harada, Bishop of the Buddhist Churches of America, and Terry Omori, President of the National Board of the Buddhist Churches of America. So today we're going to present to 3 individuals, or the grandmother of one. So I'll bring it down here. And I want to also tell you a little bit about the other graduates that we have. We have, and they all could not make it here today. Elle Ferguson just graduated from Barnard College, Columbia University. She is a family member, and she received her BA in American Studies. She told me that she studied a lot about the Japanese internment during World War II, and at some point she promised that she's going to come and speak about that in the future. Elle is a Fulbright scholar now, and she's assigned to Galicia, Spain, to teach English to high schoolers there. Matthew Kaufman is a regular member of our meditation and our classes. He's also one of our members of under the age of 30. He just received his master's degree in Jewish professional leadership from Brandeis University, And he's going to be working at Tufts University, coordinating a program called Visions of Peace about coexistence efforts between Israelis and Palestinians. And so this is really wonderful for us to hear that he's taking his Buddhist learning too, and his Jewish learning to a different place, and extending that to a place of peace in the world. Eiko Nishida, who you just heard today, received her MFA from the Hunter College, City University of New York, concentration in site-specific installation. And Eiko says she's going to keep pursuing an artist's path as well as developing myself as a better human being. So thank you very much, Eiko. Samantha Yoko Pirelli, Quinnipiac University. She just graduated from there, and she received her BA in Communications, and she's going to pursue her master's in journalism at Quinnipiac University. And her grandmother is here to accept her certificate, Diana Omori. So thank you for coming. Lily Sakai Johnson, who you all know, I'm sure you have seen her at some point. She's Miss Enthusiasm, always bubbly. She just graduated, or she's graduating from Columbia Secondary School for Math, Science, and Engineering in their middle school program. And she is going to be going in the fall to Brooklyn Technical High School. So we're so excited for Lily and her father, too, Mikio. And let's see, I've got to find it. And we also have Shuki Yang, who's, she's here today. She just graduated also from Columbia. So congratulations, Shuki. And she's been coming to our services. And last but not least, Kwang-Ye Wang, Columbia University, a BA in History and Economics, and is going to be going to Yale Law School after getting into almost every law school in the history of the United States, right? So, and his mother and grandmother are here today. Yes, we're so happy that you're here. Helena, who Kwang spoke about in his talk, and his grandmother who traveled here from China. So thank you so much for coming. But I'll give you these certificates. So this is So congratulations to all the graduates. We're just so thrilled for you and happy that we have this opportunity to celebrate your lives. It was so beautiful. Thank you. It's just, I mean, I see Carl Davis smiling there from year to year. And I think everybody feels that way too, that, you know, these talks are so inspiring. And, you know, we just sort of get into our own daily lives and think, you know, let me just keep going. But actually, when I hear the way you have taken Buddhism into your life and, you know, it's become part of you, and the way you interact with others too, it just shines in you. So thank you so much. So today is a we want to welcome any people who are here for the first time, and I think I know one person who's here for the first time. But anybody who's here for the first time, could you please stand up and let us know who you are?
Hi, my name is Mary Dixon, and I just moved here from the San Francisco Bay Area 14 days ago. And I'm on the Upper West Side, and I was doing a walking tour with the Municipal Art Society. It was an art and architecture walking tour of the Upper West Side. We stopped here at the end, and I asked the Reverend if I could come to a service, and he said yes. And my mother-in-law passed away yesterday.
Oh,
And I thought this would be a good place to be, and it has been
thank
so
you for
far a very
coming. Thank you.
comforting place to be.
Thank you.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Mary. I've been a member here for a couple of years online, and it's so wonderful to be here in person, and especially to be here today with the beautiful sculpture and to feel the Sangha here, everybody's warmth. Thank you.
Yeah. Mary, it's different when you're online, right? And then to be actually here physically.
Hi, my name is Jeff Ichikawa. I'm a member at the Oregon Buddhist Temple, but have been living in Austin, Texas for the last 30 years. My family is here on vacation, but I let them sightsee today because I wanted to see what the temple is like. So thanks for having me.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hi, my name is Salil. Been in New York for 12 years. Very curious about Buddhism, so just wanted to come here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So this is the Brandon family. We are also here on vacation from Houston, Texas, but have been watching online for about a year and a half. So excited to be here, and we thought Lily was going to run around with the mic and hand it to us. Oh, she's got a play tape, because we see her all the time online. So we're so thankful to be here. Thank you.
Well, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Couple more.
Hello, my name is Sam. I'm a friend of Aiko's, and she invited me to come today, and so I have, and it's been a pleasure to be here. I'm from Chelsea, so there we go. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sam. Wait, we got full house today.
Hi, I'm Brian. I used to come here regularly in the 80s and 90s. I'm here for the first time in 25 years. And my mother passed away 2 Sundays ago. And so I wanted to revive.
All right. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you. It just, it's interesting to see how our online presence has made an impact on people's lives. And thank you, Brandon family, for coming. Oh my goodness, 4 of you. We have to talk some more. Thank you. Words of appreciation. So we usually thank everybody that helped with the service today. There's so many people that have helped with the service and that will help following our service. We're going to have a reception, actually. So thank you, David Brady, who's back from, I guess you came last week, right? Yeah, he was away for a month. And so during that time, Kwong and Lily, they just subbed for him and then did a great job. They kept everything going, so it's amazing. It's nice to know we have bench strength here. So great. And John Skelly, who's also sitting in for Nobuko, and he'll be playing for us for the month that she's away too, right? So thank you. John also is a regular in terms of helping us with the music. Oh, and he went to Japan too, right? And Maiko Tanaka, who's always here to help. It takes a lot to get the place set up and ready for the service. So she always comes in and helps. And she's very serious about her studies too. So she's been taking courses at the Institute of Buddhist Studies. And so you'll see more of her, I'm sure. Let's see, and did I forget anybody? Oh, flowers, yes. Thank you so much. Kwang's mother, Helena, brought flowers, and then our anonymous donor who always brings in flowers. Want to thank her too for bringing in the flowers. So, are there any other announcements? Just to let you know, next week, next Sunday, actually, our speaker is going to be Matthew Kaufman, one of the graduates this time, and so he's going to be speaking on the service that we're dedicating to Pride Month. And then the following week after the service, we will be joining the Pride Parade. There's a group of us that will be going with Sodaiko, our taiko group. So if you guys are interested in joining the march with us, we do it almost every year. And it's just a kind of a wonderful experience to be part of the larger community and to share our joy in Pride. So if you're interested in that, just email us. I think I posted the email address for Juliana Hessel, who's with Sodaiko. But if you're interested, just let me know if you want to join the group. It's really a wonderful experience. Anything else? Oh, yes. He's going like this. We have Buddha. Buddha goes to the movies, and every month we have one Saturday at 11 o'clock where Brian Doth and Matt Kaufman lead the group in talking about what Buddhism is shown in different films that we're screening. We look at the films beforehand, and then we come and talk. But this month is Kung Fu Panda. We did a few serious ones like Silence, and so we'll be continuing this series, and it's a lot of fun to talk about digging into the film and finding out what Buddhist messages are there. So, any other announcements? Did I miss anybody? So everybody who came today, you're welcome to do Oshoko after the service. We are going to have a reception upstairs for the graduates, so please join us. It's on the second floor in the adjoining building. Just go out the door, this door here, and then upstairs. So you're welcome to join us, and we always have a good time in socializing. So thank you so much for coming. Join me in Gassho, in gratitude for this day where we can celebrate the lives of our graduates and look forward to their future. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu.